So our first speaker is from the East Coast. I met him 20 years ago, actually 24 years ago. I went to this thing called a Craig Proctor Super Conference. He was the megastar. He had bought in his Coldwell Banker franchise. He had bought in his building, selling hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of them every year. He's a famous trainer. Everybody knows him. He's been around forever. But bigger than that, he's got the biggest heart. He's a high D driver, but the guy's a teddy bear. It's a weird combo. So help me bring to the stage one of my favorite people on the planet, Mr. Brent Moses, everybody.
Thank you. Love you, man. Love you.
Thanks.
Hi, CABO. How are you? Great to see you, CABO. What a privilege it is to be here and share with you. So let's dive right in. Gene talked about opportunity time yesterday. That was my first day on the job, 1989, waiting for uptime. Love that gold coat, right? My sales manager said, hey, if you wear that gold coat, it'll attract business. That was a lie. So funny, not really a funny story, but I graduated college with a business degree from Northeastern University in Boston. And at graduation, my parents are sitting in the TD Garden, Boston Garden, and they're so excited. I've got all these job offers, 6 figures a year. I'm 23 years old. And they go, which one are you going to take? I said, I'm getting into real estate. They said, you didn't need a college education to do that. Why? I said, they make tons of money. How many of you thought real estate agents made tons of money? My first 5 years in the business were pretty tough. These are canceled checks, 1995, 1994. Hard times. Couldn't pay my bills. I was spending more money than I was making. I was doing everything my sales manager and broker told me to do, promote myself, cold call, door knock. I was doing 300 calls a day, 6 hours a day, from 7 in the morning till 1 in the afternoon. Dialing the phone book, dialing for dollars. You guys know the scripts, right? Hey, if you were planning on moving, where do you think you'd be going? And I'd get answers like heaven. I go, when do you think that'll be? Follow the script, right? So I keep working harder, and then, do you guys know that we're all related? I get a letter from our uncle, Uncle Sam. And Uncle Sam said, hey, Brian, we haven't heard from you in a few years. 1990, 91, 92, 93, 94. Where you been? I'm like, you mean I have to pay taxes on this stuff? I go, well, I did what most of you would do. I just threw those letters in the trash because I figured they'd have bigger fish to fry. So the letters came a little bit more frequently, a little bit more serious. I had to sign for them. I continued to throw them in the trash. Finally, my broker said, Brian, we got a little problem. The IRS is levying your commissions. And every commission that you earn, we've got to send to the IRS. I'm like, ooh, that's not good. I'm in a little bit of trouble. By the time they caught up with me, I owed them over $60,000 in back taxes. And I had just deposited $18,000 in checks, and they were all bouncing, as you could see. And so I borrowed money from friends. I wrote them post-dated checks on commissions that were in the queue. And my really good, close personal friends were so kind to charge me 10% interest for a month. I'd borrow $2,000. I'd write them a check for a month later, $2,200. And the bank called me and said, hey, Brian, your checks are bouncing. I go, that's impossible. I just deposited $18,000. And they said, oh, let me check. They levied my bank account. The IRS levied my bank account, took all the money out, so now all the checks are bouncing. I share this with you because, everybody knows of our success stories, right? Social media, and we're doing great, and we're kicking ass, and life is good. But the gentleman yesterday said, you never know who you're talking to and what problems they have. And I was at such a down point in my life, I thought about taking my own life. because I didn't want to let my dad down. I didn't want to let my parents down. And as Brent said, you know, I found some mentors. I got to work with Craig Proctor. He was a great role model in my life. But at that time in my life, I came home thinking about taking my life, and I turned on the TV, and there was this giant man with big teeth, big hands, and he said, "You too can change your life for 3 easy payments of $197. And your past doesn't equal your future. And you can have and do and experience anything you desire in your life." And I'm like, really? You're talking to me. So I bought those tapes, I turned my life around, I changed my psychology, because that was probably the biggest part. And what I learned, and what we've been hearing this common theme all day, is that your beliefs control your thinking. And your thinking controls your actions. And your actions control your results. Or your inactions control your results. So what do you believe is possible? Gene said yesterday, write down how much your revenue share is going to be. Dream big. Tony Robbins taught me to dream big. Don't set mediocre goals. Realistic goals. Realistic goals produce a mediocre life. How many of you don't want to have a mediocre life? So shoot for the freaking stars. Dream big. I wrote down a number, Gene, that is bigger than a monthly number that's bigger than any annual year I've ever had in my life. I hope you did too. Dream big. And remember that your belief controls your thoughts. I also learned from Tony that there are 2 worlds that we can choose to live in. The reported world. The market's down, interest rates are up, there's a shortage of inventory. That's true. Or the created world. That's the world you freaking create. So dream big. Now there's one word that I can't stand I can't stand, it should be stricken from the English language. Who knows what that word is? I hate that word. So now I'm kicking ass, I'm setting big goals. I remember going to a Coldwell Banker seminar in Concord, New Hampshire, and I'm standing next to the guy next to me, and the speaker says something like, Gene, hey, write some unrealistic goal, write something that would stretch you. So I go, I'm going to be the #1 agent in the world for Coldwell Banker. And the guy next to me that I shared it to spits up his coffee and says, you're not even the #1 agent in New Hampshire. How are you going to do that? I go, I have no idea. See, the how doesn't matter. Decisions change your life. We don't know how we're going to get to 500,000, 1 million agents. We're going to get there, though. Who has no doubt we're going to get there? We're going to get there. Christ, I had no idea how I was going to become the #1 agent in the world, but it sure sounded good. So I'm kicking ass. I'm working with Craig Proctor. I'm learning direct response marketing. I'm meeting all these great minds. I'm now coaching and doing seminars and sharing my success with other people. And life is good. I meet a beautiful woman. I get married. We build a house. Life is fantastic. I'm going to New York City with a buddy of mine. And Tony taught me to always ask, how can we make things even better? Because the quality of your life is in proportion to the quality of the questions you ask yourself. So I always ask, how can I make this even better? So I'm driving to New York with my buddy Scott, and we're going to the Red Sox-Yankees game, big rivalry. And we're going to Letterman, and we're having dinner at Smith & Wollensky's. And I said, hey, Scott, how can we make this even better? He goes, Moses, shut up. It doesn't get any better than this. Are you nuts? I go, it can always be better. I go, what if we got on Letterman? He goes, Moses, shut up. What are you, on crack? You can't get on Letterman. That's impossible. So I got a quick video I want to share with you and show you what happens because you can dream big.
U.S. Orchestra, you know, Corky, we were talking to a young man from New Hampshire, the southwestern part of the state of New Hampshire, before the show, and the kid, for reasons unbeknownst to me exactly, wanted to sit on the stage. Are you still out there, Larry? Is that your name, Larry? Larry? Brian? Do you mind if I call you Larry? I'll tell you what, you a wagering man? Yeah, it's a little gaming blood in your body? All right, if you go outside onto 53rd Street right now and kick us a field goal, I'll let you sit on the stage. What do you say? Now, wait a minute. Come here. Come here. Hey, 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 hey. 35 yards? What do you think? He'll never hit a 35-yarder, will he?
You never know.
No, he'll never hit a 35-yarder.
Is he going to do it now?
I would say we'll start like around 20 yards. Give him a chance. You know, the kid drove all the way down here from New Hampshire.
Cool. 20 yards.
Is Larry out there now? Is he ready to kick, or are we going to do this first? Then, okay, we'll do the top. There he is. Let Larry take a couple of warm-up pokes, all right? And then we'll do the top 10 here while he's warming up. All right. There it is. 20-yarder. All right, Larry, anytime you're ready. Anton, here we go. If he hits this, he gets to sit on the stage. Come on, Larry. Let's take a look at that in slow motion, instant replay. We got it on replay. Let's take a look. Let's check that. There it is. It's up. It's high enough. It's far enough. It's good. Everything in. Yeah. Nice going. How about that? Pretty good. All right. Bring it over here. Right there. Something, isn't it? How about that? Yes! Not bad. 30 yards, 30 yards, that was 20. 30 yards, you can host the damn show. Think about it. Think about it. We'll be right back here with Why Tonight. Pierce Brosnan's here. Lance Allstott, the kid who kicked the field goal. And minutes ago, Brian Moses, is that it, Brian? From New Hampshire. What city in New Hampshire?
Southwestern portion.
Exactly. Won the honor of sitting on those stairs for the rest of the show by drilling this unbelievable, dramatic, overtime, last minute. Look at this, man. This is a rocket, isn't it? Very nice. You play a lot of ball? Did you play ball in school?
I'm sorry?
I said, did you play ball in school? You have a football background?
I did.
Yeah, well, it certainly paid off tonight, didn't
Never
it?
kicked.
It ain't exactly $1 million, but you feel like $1 million, don't you?
I was really nervous.
Yeah, okay, that's fine. Like he's expecting a call from the president. Well, Brian, Hillary and I just saw you hit that field goal. Pierce Brosnan is on the program. He's in a brand new motion to that camera. Get a nice tight shot on him. Give us that Bond, James Bond. Just turn around, right in there. There you go.
Which one?
That right in there. Just turn into it. Turn into that camera. Oh yeah, that'll be good. This will be great. This will be great.
My name's Bond. James Bond.
Yeah. Yes. Oh! Let's let the kid try it.
John, the kid.
Try it. Do the same thing. Turn right into the camera. Try the same thing. Let's see how you can do it. The name's Bond. James Bond. It's your little audition. Okay, here we go.
The name's Bond. James Bond.
The kid ain't bad. The kid ain't bad.
Now, why did I share that story with you? Anything's possible. Imagine going through life with that belief, anything's possible. Imagine sharing that belief with people. So life is good. I'm rolling along. I'm cooking with gas. Life is good. I become the #2 agent in the world for Coldwell Banker. Twice. I missed it by 4 deals. I missed number 1 by 4 deals, but shoot for the stars, land on the moon. I would have never got there if I didn't think about what that would be like. So life has been good, and then, the best part about it is sharing it with people. So my wife and I decide we're gonna raise a family and have children. And nothing's happening. So we go see this doctor, and on his wall it says Harvard. I go, Janet, we're in the right place. And the guy comes out and he goes, Mr. and Mrs. Moses, I've got bad news for you. Here's your fertility results. I'm sorry, you can't have kids. I said, what'd you freaking say? And Janet's pulling me off him, and he said, you can't have kids, you're infertile. You're infertile, Mr. Moses, your wife's infertile. I said, what about fertility? He said, not gonna help, maybe you wanna consider adoption. And I said, no, I'm not considering adoption. So we go to fertility, long story short, we try 11 times. My wife has 3 miscarriages. She wakes up in the middle of the night, crying, we lost another baby. We're done. We're in Hawaii for Life Mastery, September 7th, 2001. 4 days later, 9/11 happens. You guys remember where you were? We meet Tony's assistant, Lauren. She goes, oh, I saw you were pregnant. How's the baby doing? My wife starts crying. She says, don't you ever give up on your goals. Do you hear me? And my wife's like, the nerve. Right? How many of you have ever come close to giving up on your goals? So my father, World War II vet, invasion of Normandy, he passed away on September 7th. We're flying home from Hawaii, September 11th happens, and my wife says, can we try one more time? Maybe Grampy will put in a good word for us. Miracles happen. We had a baby boy. Hayden Ryan Moses, 7 pounds, 9 ounces. That's us in Hawaii. Then we adopted a little boy from China. We've lived an incredible life. We're so blessed. But don't let anybody tell you can't do anything, because imagine if we listened to you. Every year, I sent that doctor from Harvard a Christmas card with a picture of our family. Said, don't you freaking tell people they can't. Miracles happen. Everyone in this room is a miracle. It's my boys. Life is good. So you have 2 worlds you can choose to live in. I was with Jay Kinder and Mike Reese at the Kentucky Derby. They go, Brian, we'd love to take you as our guest. I was coaching them for a number of years. I said, okay. I go, hey, Reese, how can we make this better? He goes, dude, it doesn't get any better than this. I said, we can go to Billionaires Row. He said, you can't, we tried. 5 seconds later, I'm in Billionaires Row. Then I go, how can I make it better? Well, if I walk a horse out onto the track at the Derby, that'd be pretty cool. Sometimes you gotta be a little cray-cray. Took my son to the Iron Bowl. How can you make it better? Let's meet Bo Jackson. What? Roll Tide. Roll Tide. So, go to the LSU championship game. We're in the locker room with Joe Burrow. Ask, how can you make it better? 2 worlds. My son's growing up. He's into martial arts. He's a 3rd-degree black belt. He's about 10 years old here. He's playing Pop Warner football. And he says, Dad, I want to be a world champion. I want to be the best in the world. I said, Hayden, everybody wants to be the best in the world. Are you willing to pay the price? His coaches, his trainers, you can't. Not from New Hampshire. You're competing with kids from around the world, Brazil, Chile, Panama. You can't, you're too small, Hayden. Well, not once, but twice, my kid's a world champion martial artist. He goes on to play, he gets his 3rd-degree black belt. He wants to play football. He's 5'6". He wants to be the starting quarterback of his high school team. Coach is like, you can't, you're too small. We're gonna put you at slot. I don't want to play slot. I'm not playing slot. I'm going to be a quarterback. So by his junior year, he worked hard. We got him good coaching. We always told him you can do anything you set your mind to. He goes, I want to play in college. He becomes the captain of his football team. He's a starting quarterback as a junior. He's hometown hero. He's the captain. He's being recruited by colleges that some of you might recognize. And we're getting visits at these schools, and it's a pretty exciting journey, and he's winning contests with some of the best quarterbacks in the country. But he's being judged by his size. And I always told people, don't judge my kid's size. You don't know how big his frickin' heart is. He's a miracle, and he can do anything. So he says, Dad, I want to play Division I football. I said, dude, go for it. You can do anything you set your mind to. His senior year of high school, he's being recruited. He's got 13 college offers. In a scrimmage, he tears his ACL. All the offers off the table. You know what he says to me? He said, God's delays are not God's denials. I'm like, wow. He goes, I'll do a year at prep school. I'm going to play college football. And he did a year at prep school, was the valedictorian, got recruited by one school in Iowa, D3 school, becomes a starting quarterback, sets 2 NCAA passing records, says to mom and dad, hey, I want more. I want to play Division I. I want to go to an elite school. Do you have any objection to me applying to these schools? We said, no, go for it. Janet goes, do you think he can play football in Division I? I go, not a chance. He's 5'8". He sends me an email or a text. He goes, Dad, I just got into Vanderbilt. In the SEC! I'm like, holy shit! That's awesome, Hayden. Sorry, I'm sorry, I apologize. I'm ecstatic, holy smokes. And he goes, I'm in. I go, so you're not going to play football? He goes, Dad, I'm playing football. Hayden, what are you talking about? You're 5'8". He goes, Dad, I go, how are you going to do that? He goes, what'd you say? So I'll wrap it up. Created world. My son walked on to Vanderbilt football. He's a walk-on playing in the SEC. He sets a goal to make the travel team. He makes the travel team. His first game is in Hawaii. Thank you, Hayden. There he is on the sidelines. He's calling the plays. We're the biggest tailgaters in the SEC. So you can create your world, dream big. He looks like he's, channeling his Joe Burrow right there. He played where the Super Bowl was this past year in Las Vegas. Dream, who can tell where my kid is? Don't give up on your goals. You guys have been great. When you dream big, miracles happen. Love you, thank you.